Hello, Connective. Welcome back. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Comment, subscribe, and like without smashing anything, and let's get into this energy. So this is a collective reading for Aquarius. Aquarius, I did shoot your reading last month, and a tornado came and took it away. So we're going to have to reshoot it. I did pull some cards. I have the Akashic deck out, the Akashic Tarot, and then I also got a Spiritual Awakening deck. So I've already pulled cards for the overall energy of the reading, and then the energy that we want to work with to use to get through the situation that's in this reading. So I'm going to get into those in just a second. I'd like to get the energy oracle cards to come out. And then I'll show you the cards that are on the table and talk about what I already see. But I can tell you right now, Aquarius, before I even do anything, I mean, this might be in other areas of your life, but this definitely looks like a love reading. So love reading, probably twin flame reading, probably looking for a soulmate, probably. Or it could be, any soulmate. So it doesn't have to be romantic. It could be, maybe something that's getting ready to like come in and teach you a lesson kind of thing. And we'll get into the other cards in just a second as far as what else is going on here on the table. I'd like to get two more energy oracle cards. So let's see. If they don't come out, we'll just pull them. But give it one or two more passes, and I'll tell you why I think this is a love reading. Well, first of all, your overall energy from the Akashic deck is fated meeting. So there's that. But there's some other indications that kind of make it look a little twin flamey, and some other stuff too that are just kind of like messages that are kind of sitting out on their own, that you don't have to necessarily be on any journey to experience, but definitely some kind of a spiritual awakening theme going on here, underlying. All right, so we have the thinking man. I'll put him up here, and then we have woman holding a coin, and we have the envy card. All right, so I'm just gonna usually put envy over there, but over there is kind of like the energy that we want to use, so we're gonna put envy over here. Okay, let's go for, okay, so we have our fated meeting card. So, I mean, if you can see it, it's pretty clear. You have these people, but then up top, you kind of see it's almost like, as above, so below, like whatever we decide, we have to bring it down here and make it into a reality kind of thing. Sometimes that requires effort. Sometimes that happens all on its own. Right here, we have the law of mentalism. Get clarity on your core values and commit to what matters. I feel like this is popping up for like the people who are looking for a relationship, just in general looking for a relationship, simply because a lot of times when we, especially when we're getting out of situations that we just know we don't want our relationship to be like that. It doesn't matter what kind of relationship, but for a romantic relationship, let's just say that we've had enough situations where we don't want our relationship to be like that. Focusing on what we don't want is not going to get us what we want. We have to get clear on what we want so that we can move towards that. The situation that was what we didn't want was supposed to be there to highlight what we did want. We were supposed to figure out what we didn't want, take from it what we learned, and then figure out what we did want so that when we did move forward, we could move into the next thing. Okay, so regardless of whether or not it's twin flame or anything like that, that was always going to be the theme. Now, let me see if there's anything else. Okay, so this isn't necessarily, like a spiritual awakening, but we do have Archangel Gabriel on the table. So this is actually supposed to be either like Archangel Gabriel or the like communication, Mercury. So this also tells me that if you did want to be in a relationship, or you do want to be in a relationship, either communication is important or communication should be important. In other words, you need to embody that energy, or you need to work on it, kind of a thing, in order to make it better. One of the things that you learned when you were getting out of the other situation was you needed to communicate more, kind of thing. Okay, and then not that. Okay, and then so this also. So not necessarily for spiritual awakening, except for we have the law of harmony, dissolve all discordance and chaos. So a lot of times we don't have to be necessarily in a spiritual awakening to just want harmony in our relationships or just want some kind of peace in general. So again, if you're not on a spiritual awakening, or you're not necessarily on a twin flame journey or looking for a soulmate, those things could be true for you regardless. Now, if you are looking for, let's start with the twin flames, okay? If you know you're a twin flame and you know you're not in union, then again, we're talking about Archangel Gabriel. So we're talking about, communication with this person. Are we in communication with this person? Well, it just depends, doesn't it? Do we have to be in communication with this person to do our spiritual path? Not necessarily. The Ark of the Covenant here is telling us that we are on our path, that we're on the path that we've planned for ourselves, that we're going the right direction. So even if you are a twin flame and you're not where you want to be, in that process, or you're not in a situation that you want to be in with that person, you still are on the right track. It's not like you've gotten, you screwed everything up or they've screwed everything up. I mean, a lot of times you guys should probably know by now that with twin flames that there is a splitting. There's a splitting, and when the split happens, the people are in turmoil, and it's part of the process. I mean, you could get upset about it, try to force it, and you already know it's not going to work, especially if people haven't healed, which we'll get to. But we also have the law of transcendence. So this card kind of felt a little twin flamey to me too, because it was the energy that we're supposed to be like embodying to like kind of get through this kind of thing. Because I don't see getting out of it necessarily. I mean, that would be a whole different reading, but talking about trying to get through this, wanting to be on the twin flame journey, not wanting to be miserable and trying to get through this kind of thing. Well, again, communication isn't just with the other person. You could communicate with yourself. If you need to make sense of some things, you can also ask Archangel Gabriel for support, advice. This card is not just about communication. It's about Archangel Gabriel. So there's that. And if you're on the twin flame journey, you're on a spiritual path anyway, even if you wanted to separate them. And sometimes the soulmates can look like twin flames anyway, so this is not necessarily specific to twin flames. Like we said, this could be just a regular old relationship. However, there's still this law of transcendence here, which is like the pressure of having to evolve. Like, that's not really what this card means, but for the purposes of this reading and the energy that we're supposed to embody, this is almost like when you talk to like people who are like talking about twin flames and they're like, but you agreed, but you agreed, but you agreed. Like, this is what this card is kind of telling me, right? And even if it was just a soulmate, it would be the same thing, right? Again, you have choices. Twin flames, I don't know, so much. I do believe in, killing contracts, but I don't necessarily think you should do it. Just because we can do it doesn't mean that we should do it, right? So, this law of transcendence is going to be here no matter what. Even in just a regular relationship, if somebody's not a twin flame or a soulmate, you're going to want a higher relationship, right? If you're trying to get out of something that was kind of, crappy, then you're definitely going to want to, or even just with the fated meetings, I mean, it's, we're talking about a decent, so we're not talking about going into a bad relationship so that we can figure what we want in the new relationship. Otherwise, these cards would be in a totally different, setup. So we're talking about the fact that this fated meeting is supposed to be a good meeting, which means we've already been through the bad meetings, and we understand that even if we didn't know anything else, that this law of harmony exists for us. This is what we want. Dissolve all discordance and chaos. So like I said, most people want to get out of chaos, even if it's just a regular old relationship. Then again, you've got envy. So you have chaos and envy. So, I'm a little hard on the deceit card or the hostilities card sometimes, but envy could be a problem too, especially in a situation where it's a relationship and you're looking for harmony, right? You're looking to transcend, and there's no place for envy in that. We'll figure out, the thinking man I kind of get, because this law of mentalism is telling us to get clarity on the core values and commit to what matters. So that requires thought. So I know why this card is here. But this woman holding a coin, Not so much, unless it's just an aspect of this relationship or possibly something that we need to work on. So let's go ahead and pull Alice and see if we can get some clarity on what's already on the table as far as either what kind of relationship we're moving towards or what we need to see to get through it in this way of, you know, communication or just moving forward. Like I said, this Ark of the Covenant is like you're going in the right direction. It's like living true to your contract. So like I said, those of you, if this reading is resonating or does resonate with you, don't feel like you're on the wrong path just because you're not with someone, or just because you might have seen a window where you were supposed to be with someone. When you're not ready, you're not ready. You're going to repel each other like magnets. That's too many cards. Not one of you has to heal, both of you has to heal. That's why harmony is here on the table. And in a twin flame reading, you both have to transcend. I mean, you would have to do that anyway, even in a regular relationship, or if we were talking about a soulmate. Like, people need to, one person can't grow and the other person can't stay where they are. They wouldn't be a vibrational match. Not in the way that this is indicating. This is a sacred bond. This is a sacred relationship. There's a reason why this relationship exists. It was planned. It's a possibility that people on the outside are jealous of it. I mean, with this law of transcendence here, it's a possibility that somebody might be in the twin flame situation and might be envious of others who are not. It's possible. Either way, you can't take that envy into the new relationship, even if you're looking towards it, looking forward to it. Let's see what we got. Got growing up. Growing up. We have nature communication. Interesting, the word communication is here on the table again. Oh, this is like one of my little special cards. This is like one of those, you have hidden talented spiritual gifts. Oh yeah. Yeah, so again, spiritual awakening on the table, even though we're talking about relationship. And then we have falling. So this is like the act of changing. This is the unknown descent momentum change. The act of changing. It's a possibility that this woman holding a coin might have been someone you were, somebody that you dealt with. It was just material. And this envy could go along with that. And then this thinking man could be like, you know, realizing what they're surrounded with and deciding that they don't want to deal with that anymore. Again, it goes against the harmony. It might even go against what someone feels is important. You know, what's the word they used? To what matters. They might not feel like the money matters all that much. They might have already had the money and realized that without the love, the money is nothing. I know some people probably disagree with that. I can hear it in my head already. But, you know, I mean, honestly, you have enough money and no love, that's an easy concept to grasp. Worth nothing. Especially when the dollar of the value is shrinking. The dollar of the value. The value of the dollar. It's worth even less. You just sit on your butt and it's worth even less. Meanwhile, the idea behind love is that it grows, right? We don't want to know who else is in this situation. No additional messages for our people here who are kind of like hanging on to this in-between state. This law of transcendence card kind of looks like a temple. Oh my God. And this law of harmony actually has a set of twins on it. Hold on, I want one more card. Ah, got two more. All right. Wow. Yeah, somebody's a twin. If you're not a twin, you're on a soulmate journey that looks like the twin flame journey. If you're not sure, check it out. You'll know. Or you can ask the right person. You can ask Archangel Gabriel. If you have, you know, you can ask your higher self. It can look a lot like it. You might think you're on it and you might not be. It's probably a good possibility to figure out if you have to mess with this past person or if you're just moving forward towards somebody new. It's anxiety is not on the table. But I can tell you that if you're sweating that you're a twin flame and you're not sure, you know, find out. There's a way to find out. We'll talk about it more in the extended if this is your reading. We'll talk about where you go to find that information, who you could talk to. So we have new moon in Virgo. Trust that all will be well. So I feel like this came out for Libra. So new moon, and then there might be a Virgo involved. We also have first quarter moon in Taurus, release control. So Taurus might be involved. I feel like this is also a valid statement for somebody who might be on the twin flame journey, because I feel like sometimes, you know, I mean, I haven't known a lot of twin flames, but the ones that I've known who were still kind of like struggling or trying to get out or trying to like be with this person even though this other person like wasn't ready or whatever, it almost seemed like they thought they had to do everything themselves. And it's like, I've already learned that lesson, guys. Like, you can't. It'd be great to say that if you could do a bunch of work and then that other person could just come along with you, but again, as we're talking about it, you know, the twins have to evolve, not just one person. It doesn't matter if you're in a twin flame or it's a soulmate or if it's just a regular relationship. You cannot take that person who's still falling with you. You've already done the work, right? If you haven't, you're going to. So trying to pull a person that isn't coming, you know, and especially like if they don't communicate, they don't have a path per se, they're going to hold you back. It's going to take you longer to get where you need to go, even though you have a fated meeting. Yeah. Release that control. Don't worry about like whatever's behind you. If it's a totally separate person behind you that you're holding on to, let that go. First of all, I have a feeling there's no harmony in that. There's definitely no transcendence in that. And you need to like come up with what was important. How would you get it? You need to grow up. You need to get away from that, right? We have to. We would love sometimes to run back because it looks a little bit easier, but it's not. You pull the same cycle over and over and over again with somebody who's meaner each time, and you find out that it's not. You also have full moon in Leo, go wild. So I feel like this is, again, talking about moving forward, going forward, embracing the flow of life, full moon in Gemini. Forward, right? So maybe a Virgo, a Taurus, a Leo, or a Gemini involved. And someone who has special gifts, who's either on the twin flame journey or just knows someone's coming, or maybe someone's coming, maybe you don't know. Maybe you know you're in a situation and you're changing a little bit and you know that you have to change a little bit more. Maybe you might be controlling about certain situations and you have problems trusting that you're going to be okay, right? You know you need to embrace the flow of life, but none of this other stuff makes sense to you. There's a possibility that someone's coming. There's a possibility that there's a relationship coming to you. There's a possibility. And you might think that you can control it, like if you're just not ready for that. You just kind of go, no, nobody's coming. I'm still healing. I got some other stuff to do. I'm still growing up. I didn't say I wanted to be in a relationship when I grew up. Right? And this this whole reading looks pretty contracty, Aquarius. I mean, regardless, it's going to come. You're going to either change when this person comes, or you're going to change and then this person's going to come. You don't have to think about it very much. You're going to automatically shed certain things and gifts are going to emerge. And then when you pay attention to those gifts, more gifts are going to emerge. And then people are going to come. Because you're already on the track that you're supposed to be on. Right? No matter what you do in this situation, you're always going to be on track. You're going to feel that pressure to evolve. You're going to still want your harmony. You're going to be trying to figure out what's important because you've been through that other thing before. Some of you guys know damn well somebody's coming. You just know. You can feel it. I want to see what the blind spot is, Aquarius. I think it's time to pull it. Let's go over to the extended. Let's talk about who we can talk to if we want to figure out our twin flame stuff. If this is your reading, meet us over in the extended. The link will be in the description. If not, till we meet again.